look, I understand, Coachella. I truly, truly understand where you're coming from. But baby, you are not by yourself. See, our history is so full of anger, it's so full of murder, lynchings, and you just can't be defined by that. You just can't become that. There's good in our history, believe it or not. Yes, God, thank you, Jesus, was the one that gave us strength to survive. Through all these centuries of abuse, we survived. You know, that's got to be something just beautiful and wonderful, especially coming from somebody that nicknamed themselves Coattail because you made your way to this university by the coattail of your ancestors. See, we have to really begin to understand our history, and when we understand it, we can see the wisdom and the strength that it took you, Coattail, to make your way to this university. And by the way, children, both of y'all are going to need a church at Ebenezer, because Ebenezer Baptist Church is the best church on the planet. Look, you're going to march your way right to Ebenezer, but that's what you're going to do. And you're going to get yourself ready. You can study after church. So y'all going to Ebenezer, and I'm going to tell you why. We have elders at my church. They can sit down and tell you these stories. I'm not making this stuff up. We have elders that have been through these struggles, and they don't mind sharing the stories. And as for you two, there's a whole lot of wisdom to gain from the struggles that our elders have experienced.
I can remember before the civil rights, by my father being a sharecropper, he not owned his own place, he had to live in the landlord's home or house. A lot of people don't know that. And by you living in his house and farming the land, whatever you got, for instance, if you had 5 acres of wheat and you had 50 acres of 50 bushels of wheat, the man that owned the house would get 25 bushels that you got the other 25.
Prior to that, I went to a segregated school, and at that time, nothing was equal. And we had second-class material, but we did have good teachers. We had good teachers.
But back before the civil rights movement, you had to go around to the side. You went to a restaurant, you could not go in and sit down and eat. A lot of times, there's just a few people still around that remember that. I don't know that it's a grudge, but I do enjoy going around to the drive-thru because it takes my mind back. How we used to have to go around to the side to get our food.
At that particular time, we moved in a mixed neighborhood. So we had some whites and we had some blacks living in the neighborhood. It was right over near Caldwell School on East Bragg Street. That would be in the 50s. It would be in the 50s that we lived over there. And of course, you know, as well, I have shared with you one other time, you know, how they burned that cross in front of our house and everything. And to see a cross lit and burning, it's just very frightening.
Marxism was about equal rights and being treated on the same level as the other citizens in the United States.
I guess it just didn't have equality. That was what we did not have. And everybody was trying to get equality and to be treated fair. We marched from on Market Street from Harry J. Brown's funeral service. We marched from there all the way downtown. And it was quite a lot of us marching along with Jesse Jackson and different ones and some of our classmates. And we just marched and just come all the way downtown.
But let me go back just a little bit. My mother and father They were Christian, they were saved. They knew there was a movement or something going on that wasn't right.
These people were the one that, what was it that they grabbed and choked the man? Now they choked, they, you know, when we were being arrested downtown, now they put a little barrier across, you know, maybe like their hands together and we all, you know, get down.
They said that whatever taking place, whatever that we had to go through as children, don't let that bother us. So because God was in charge of everything. And I'm so glad that I was never taught and it drilled in me, all my sisters and brothers, that there was a difference in color. They said, I was taught this and I share this. God give us all his air to breathe. He never have white air or black air or African air or Italian or Jews or Greek air. It's all God's air.
And all of it is about being treated equal. That's all it was about. But they didn't want to give us the same equality. And that's what we're fighting for right today. Still, equality.
By walking, by picketing, by bomb threats of our home, we're not in vain. Because look at where we are today. And those same prayers and cries that went out for us during the days when we were picketing and boycotting have gone before you and are with you today. That's why you are still standing. So many have wanted him dead, but God has protected him and has brought him to this moment. I think so many times about what we did during the 60s. I think about the churches in which we met. I was asked, how did your faith get you to where you are and get you to make that commitment to want to be a part of the civil rights struggle? Well, I knew Barack back when I was 16 years old, that it was a virtual impossibility. But we didn't stop. We didn't give up. We hung onto the Lord, and he brought us through. That was the same God that brought us here from Africa, that has protected us over the years, the same one who protected us through slavery, the same one that protected the poor as they sat in Greensboro, the same God that protected us as we marched and as we picketed. He protected us then, and he is protecting us now. We thank him for allowing us to live to see this day. God bless you, Michelle, and your two daughters. And we live to see a black man in the White House. What was the role that prayer played when we were demonstrating? Well, first of all, every meeting that we had, that I can remember was held in a church. We opened our meeting with prayer, and we ended them with prayer. We sang songs that told of the struggles that blacks had engaged in over the years. Many of the songs that we sang then, our forefathers who were slaves sang them as they were paving the way for us. There was still a way, still a way, still a way to Jesus. There was, we shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. There was Paul and Silas, who were bound in jail, and Pastor could tell you a little more about that than I can. There was Let Everybody Say Freedom. Those were the songs that inspired us and kept us going and kept us moving. So where are we today? We are here. We have seen so many that have crossed this stage. Condoleezza and many other blacks that have made it. But it was said that it never would happen. But it did. And I thank my God that I lived to see that day. I think a lot about my brothers. One who led the marches in Greensboro. No, you don't hear much about Bill Thomas. But he was the leader. Once the four went home for the summer, he stepped up and started the Congress of Racial Equality here in Greensboro. And he led some of the largest demonstrations in the United States. You don't hear that, but it's all right. He and Alvin, my younger brother, are watching down today and are proud that we have made it.
Lord, come down and bless my soul. The things that come we can't control. Change the world bit by bit. Fix the world and make it fit. People dying all around. We close our ears, won't hear a sound. Help us
on this campus for a long time. And I've been the owner of this coffee shop for a very long time. I have witnessed protests. I have seen civil disobedience. I have witnessed sit-ins, and I've seen squatters. And you know what? I've come to believe that people just don't go to God first. They really don't. See, during slavery time, this is a good example. Did you know that the slaves had to hide from their slave owners just so that they could read the Bible, pray, and sing spiritual? Did you know that? Did you know that they sang spirituals just to give them some strength? I can imagine them singing, "Soon I will be done with the troubles of the world. Troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Soon I will be done with the troubles of the world. Going home to live with God." And see, they prayed and they prayed for our freedom. And guess what? We're free. You're free to come to this university. I'm free to own this coffee shop. We're free to go to the same churches. We are free to go to the same public restrooms. We are free to go to the same restaurants. We are free to drink out of the same water fountains. But you know what? We have all this freedom, but yet people take it to the street and then they come back and go to God after the bloodshed. That right there makes no sense to me. None at all.
Let me sort of use this example. After Martin Luther King was killed, I hear some people say, "Oh, what are we going to do now? Our leader is dead and gone." But our leader is not dead and gone, which is Jesus Christ. He has always been, is now, and always will be the leader of our church and of Christianity. And my suggestion for the next generation, or generations to come, is let Jesus Christ be your leader. God will place men and women in the right place at the right time. But you must pray and let God solve the problem.
And it says in Matthew 6:33, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you."
She said, "If my people that is called by my name will humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways." He didn't say no call me. He said, "If my people." So that meant all of us. He said, "I will hear from heaven and I will heal the land."
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and their sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood.
I have a dream that one day, even in the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed to an oasis of freedom and justice.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by their color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
I have a dream today that the state of Alabama, whose governor's lips are presented dripping with the words of interposition and notification, will be transformed into a situation where little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. Through the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all the flesh shall see it together.
This is our hope.
This is the faith with which I return to the south. With this faith we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, and go to jail together. To stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning.
My country, 'tis a peace, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true, so let freedom ring.
From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire.
Let freedom ring.
From the mighty mountains of New York.
Let freedom ring.
From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania.
Let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado.
Let freedom ring.
From the curvaceous slopes of California, but not only that. Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia.
Let freedom ring.
From Lookout Mountain of Tennessee.
Let it rain.
From every hill and molehill of Mississippi.
From every mountain, let freedom ring.
When we let it ring from every village and from every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children,
Black men,
white men,
Jews and Gentiles.
Protestants and Catholics
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual.
freedom.